Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, the podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm your host, Brian, joining your other host,
Karen.
and
It's the second time you've done that in like 2 episodes.
And then Karen. This is our first episode of 2026. Well, I guess technically second. The first one came out on the 1st.
Yeah, but that was our recap from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our first recorded episode for this year.
And it's our first recorded episode with our new format changes. We released a encore episode, a bonus episode just a couple days before we were recording this, actually the day before we were recording this, where we kind of go over the thought process for those changes. And yeah, I don't know, we're just going to fuck around with it and see what happens. Give it a few episodes, see if the flow feels good, but this is our first one, so it's going to be a little choppy, I think.
Probably.
I did try to do this some time ago on one episode. I can't remember what one. I was trying to make like a new segment of just when we start off the podcast of talking about, hey, what have you been listening to, as a way to like kick off what we're going to like just kick off the conversation. And that didn't really stick, so we're going to try it again, see if it sticks this time. But the question to you, Karen, what have you been listening to?
Recently, it's been on Spotify, just the Of Sulfur radio. Okay. Where Spotify has like radio stations, quote unquote, but really they're just curated playlists.
Yeah.
Based off of the band that you're listening to. I don't know how all the logic works actually, but based off the band that you want to listen to. So like Of Sulfur would be the band I chose. And then it's kind of curated with what have you listened to before, what bands are like that. And it used to be a little bit better where it used to be the band that you like to listen to plus new bands. But now it's kind of just everything that we already I already listened to, put it into a playlist.
Interesting. That will tie into a headline we have later on in one of the segments. I have some questions. I guess I'll bring it back into that comment or that thing you were just talking about with the headline when we get to it. But interesting.
Yeah. I hope that this year it's not just me saying I'm listening to Of Sulfur radio or Signs of the Swarm radio.
But to be fair, that was your big thing that you started last year.
Yeah.
And that's part of the intent of this as well. At least my original intent way back is to like force us to not have the same answer for every episode, hopefully. Which would then force us to listen to new things.
That's true.
I do get in that rut too of like going back to the same old and listening to that same old thing, which for me was sort of the same old.
Yeah, what'd you listen to this week?
But all day today, I've been listening to Metallica, primarily the S&M albums. Okay. I started with the first one, and then this afternoon I got to the second one, made it a few songs in, and then that's
that makes sense from what we listened or went to last night.
Right, we went to the Candlelight Metallica show last night, which is what the main topic of this episode is going to be about. So yeah, that's sort of what drove me to listen to that this morning for sure.
Yeah.
But before we get into that topic, that main topic of the show, as the title of the episode would allude to, let's start with some headlines. A new segment I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Not sure if we'll keep it the title of headlines. We'll work on some sort of new title for it. Also, I do want to get like some sound effects or some jingle bullshit things to put in between.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, something like that.
That sounds stupid for headlines. But
there's like the old news beacon, there's like beeping and whatnot, right? That I think of. So I don't know. Or breaking news coming in, like old time radio shit. I don't know. We'll figure out something. I do want to put those in between the segments.
Okay.
Also, who knows? We'll keep the headlines. I was thinking like calling it the tabs, because when you open up a news article, at least for me anyway, everything is online. So I open up a new tab for that, as well as it ties into music. That when you learn an instrument, at least how I've tried to learn in the past, is learning tabs. So it kind of ties in both ways there. Not sure if that title will stick either. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it some, but for now it's the headlines.
Not sure about that tabs one. I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe not. I just wanted to play with it a little bit, but yeah, we'll work on that. In any case, getting into the headlines, what we're going to do each week, or what we're going to try to do, is just as the week goes on, we're going to collect the news stories that we care about. Hence I think the intro that we have works out really well for this new format we're doing of, we're going to talk about all the things we care about, which are, we're not going to talk about every single headline that happened, but the ones that we care about or we think is kind of cool or we want to talk about a little bit. Also, we don't see everything, so that's another way of saying like, we just didn't see it.
And also, so a comment on that, we don't want to be one of those people who just repeat or rinse and repeat what everybody else is talking about. Personally, we've talked about this a lot, where say we see something on what's the publication that you always use?
Metal Injection.
Metal Injection. Okay, so if you see something on Metal Injection, I will more than likely see it on Instagram through like Loudwire or On Facebook, there's always sponsored posts, which I haven't been on Facebook today, but there's always sponsored posts from like other publications, and it's the exact same article kind of, and sometimes it is the exact same article.
It really is. If you read multiple, I've read multiple of them, and it's basically word for word the exact same, or at least the same information depicted in both. Back to the Beginning was one I remember. I was reading everything I could when Back to the Beginning was announced. It was all the same shit.
Yeah.
And there's also some people on like Instagram that do reels and shit. Yeah. Which I do like them. I do watch them and listen to them, but I don't want to be one of those just regurgitating everything.
But like when we go through the Instagram reels, so sometimes before bed, like you'll just be flipping and it'll be just things that we are interested in that come up.
Yeah.
And it's, say there's like 3 or 4 people that come up, and it's like they're talking about the same exact thing. It's not just metal music. I mean, it happens with sports. It happens with everything.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if there's a topic, anybody that covers that topic is going to latch on and talk about it. We've not done that in the past, and I don't want to get to that now. So when we talk about headlines, or even if we do a short or something on a topic, or a 666 on a topic, I don't want to just be regurgitating what everybody else is saying.
Right. And we're going to share our opinions. So if you've listened to like our 666s, this will be, if you're just listening to this on the audio version, we have a YouTube channel. Every Monday we release what's supposed to be a short episode. Not always short, but we pick a topic
shorter.
We pick a topic for 6 minutes and 66 seconds, and we talk about that. A lot of these news articles have sort of funneled into being those episodes in the past. And there's a lot we just sort of skip over. It's like, oh, we don't really want to talk that long about it. So again, we're going to play with this a little bit. We're going to try to we'll just bring an article up. We'll share our couple of thoughts personally, or some stories that relate to us with that article possibly. And if the conversation feels like it's more in depth, maybe we'll break that out and do a whole 666 on it still in the future. Again, who knows? We're playing with this. So yeah. The first one I wanted to talk about is that there's no more MTV video only channel out there, which I kind of didn't know was a thing to begin with. It sounds like it was only international. It sounds like it was in UK primarily. I think Brazil, France.
Is that what MTV2 was though?
That's what it was supposed to be, but then it turned back into like everything went to the reality shows and whatnot. But eventually they had apparently just only streaming, or not streaming, but only playing music videos and whatnot. The article I have, it's not coming up right now for some reason, but the article I found, I think it was a Rolling Stone article. I think they called out in there that one of the things MTV was seeing, or one of the reasons they said they were stopping this service, or this channel, not service, is that a lot of the consumers who watch music videos are just going to online platforms. And I was like, shit, that's true for us. Like New Year's Eve, we just turned on music videos on YouTube and just listened to those over and over. So I kind of get that. I do like watching music videes, but we just would go to YouTube now to watch them.
So is this something that came up recently? Did it just stop?
December 31st was the last day for it.
Okay. Because I saw, gosh, I can't remember who said it. Maybe Ricky Rackman said it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But it was a while ago on Instagram saying that MTV was going away.
Yes, it was probably announced a while ago.
So I thought that MTV as a whole was going away, not just the music video.
Oh, no. Well, I think it was just the music channel. Okay. I think the MTV's still around.
I was going to say, they had to make enough money on all the stupid shows that they have on there.
All of it's reality shit now, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched it for so long, but I think that's what it
and I think they're owned by VH1 as well. I think they kind of all merged at some point in the mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And then VH1 was always the same way, where it had documentaries and shit, the behind the music documentaries, played a bunch of classic rock music videos and whatnot, and concerts and shit back when we were growing up and whatnot. But then once the reality thing started happening, they shifted as well, and not as much music.
I never had cable when I was during during the music time of those shows. So it was always it
was kind of fun because in the morning too, they would have music videos on, and my brother and I would just sit there and listen to we'd watch the music videos in the morning before going to school. Yeah. And then TRL at night or in the afternoon and whatnot.
See, I know about TRL because when I would go to my aunt's house, I feel like we would watch that, and Shaggy would have videos on. And after 10 p.m., was it just music videos?
I don't know. Headbangers Ball, I think, was Friday nights after 10 p.m. At least the second iteration of it. Ricky Rattman was the original one back in the 80s and whatnot. But I think that was also on a Friday night type thing or weekend type thing.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't have. I'm not too familiar with MTV just because we didn't have cable. So
the very first music video they ever played on MTV, because originally it was all music videos, and then obviously it shifted away to like the reality shit and then whatnot, was "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Bungles, which was also the very last song they played when they shut it down
on New Year's Eve or whatever.
Yeah, which I thought was really kind of cool to hear.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Yeah,
that you ended the same way you started.
That's Indian pop, it says, according to this.
Indian pop?
Yeah, Indian pop.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the band themselves are. I call them pop, I guess. 80s pop.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was the first article. Quick little conversation. The next one I threw in here, I wasn't sure where to put this, because it's sort of like a new announcement for music, but also it was in news. I don't know. But Stephen O'Malley from Sun O, or one of the original creators, which I just found out about a couple years ago, and I fucking love Sun O. We went to see Canate last year. I think that's how you say their name.
Yeah, Canate or Canate.
And that was also Sun O members. I don't know if he's in that band or not, but that was a really fun show. Really, I love their shit. But he announced a new solo album coming out at the end of February of this year. So, about a month and a half away from now, 2 months from now. So I'm super excited for that. And apparently it's going to be really big on like organ music as well.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm kind of excited for that. Think of like Sun O with some gothical organs playing and whatnot. That'd be a lot of fun.
That's interesting, yeah.
So again, not sure if this belonged to the headlines or not, but it's not new music yet. So yeah, we'll see. The next one is the one I wanted to talk to you about, your curated playlist.
Okay.
And that was, there's an AI artist out there apparently like ripping off Knocked Loose, Counterparts, and who else was the other one? Let me pull this article
Well, there was
up.
one with Architects. Was that in there?
I don't think so. This
so
one...
there was like an AI artist that like made a song and titled it under Architects.
No, that's not what this one is. It's Knocked Loose, Counterparts, and The Devil Wears Prada are the bands that they're sort of ripping off, or in what this article says. The band, or the band in quotes, or the artist in quotes, is Broken Avenue. And they currently have 127,000 listens on Spotify, or at least according to this article.
Is that the song or the artist?
The artists themselves.
Okay, so Block Counterparts. Or no, Block, sorry. No.
Yes, do not Block Counterparts.
Broken Avenue. The only thing is, like, I think we talked about, sorry, I'm interrupting you, but we talked about blocking the AI artists from our Spotify. But does that give them like a view, or like is there like a view or something?
Probably
like
not, because you didn't. Maybe search.
I don't want to search them and then have AI music come up.
Kind of let it come up and then block once it comes up. One of the big things they were calling out in this article in terms of why they have so many streams and whatnot is that they're baked into curated playlists already. They're being shuffled into there and whatnot.
Interesting.
So with your curated playlist, are you discovering new music through that, or is it all bands you know and recognize?
So far, mostly it's bands I recognize. Every once in a while, there'll be one song or two songs that I don't recognize.
It's happened a lot for me that when I'm going through and it's just shuffling, at least now, recently anyway, I will not stop the song, but I will stop what I'm doing and like look up the band to make sure they're not AI.
Well, because you ran into that with that other AI band where you liked the song, and then when you found out it was AI, you're like,
nope, fuck this. We did a 666 on that. We did a whole topic on that. It was just a few weeks ago. I think we posted that. But the other thing with this particular band or artist again is that they're kind of sort of ripping off the artwork that the band has for their albums as well. Yeah. So there's examples online that you can look at where it's like, here's what Knocked Loose has. Here's what this artist, again, artist in quotes, used for their art as well. And it's like, it's not 100% identical, but there's so much sort of, it's easy to be like, especially if you're a passive fan, you're like, because I mean, Knocked Loose, their last one has that like neon cross, and this same band has the same thing. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And there's so many different examples of that. So that's the one I wanted to tie into what you were listening to.
Yeah. I'll have to look more on that, but generally it's like I'm just working and I don't look at my phone to see what's playing.
It's hard to, right? Especially if you're like driving or something.
Yeah.
That's another time we like listen to stuff on shuffle. This band also, or this artist also, has like their own This Is or some sort of channel that they do.
I used to listen to a lot of that, like This Is whatever, but then it just plays that music over.
Right, it's a way to learn that band. That's why you do like the radio, because it funnels that in with the other artists that are similar, like you were saying. Yeah, I've said this before. I don't like the fucking AI music, AI art in general. I fucking hate AI as a whole. Is I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
So what's up with this? Sorry, I'm gonna call this name out. What's up with this James Troby thing?
So this is from Counterparts vocalist Brandon Murphy. He posted this on Twitter saying he wants to give somebody like $100 for anyone who can get a legitimate contact for this James Trollby, which again, like the last name being Troll, maybe it's not a legit name.
Yeah.
But apparently this is like the main person behind the Broken Avenue or whatever the AR shit is.
Oh yeah, because it says that that's the lyricist and the producer.
Yep.
Interesting.
So it's like, hey,
I bet it's a fake
I bet it is
person.
too.
I bet that's a fake name.
One of those, this came up again on the reels that we were scrolling through, and one of the guys that we watch while he does that called this out as well and went through all of it and did a lot more in depth than we're doing here. But he called out as well that Broken Avenue apparently was a real band sometime in the past, in like the early 2013s or something like that.
So if you're searching for that band, this would come up.
Like they have legit shit apparently back in the day, and then went kind of dark for a long time. So one thing he called out in his like little chat was that possibly this account got hijacked by an AI bot type farm and whatnot, right? To at least add some credence to it being a real band. Or maybe it really was the band not saying like, fuck it, we're just going to use AI now to become popular and whatnot. So in any case though, it's AI art. AI art is shit in my opinion. So
it is. But if this is just my opinion, I would not know. But I would think that if it was the band from early 2000s using this as AI to be like, oh, let me just generate some AI music to get back in the algorithm, I think that people would or know who they are then.
Yeah. You would think so, right?
Because you would think that they would have played shows and released music and had people around them that know who they are.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
where this, it seems like that nobody knows who this
so kind of got
person
hijacked,
is.
right?
I bet that's not a real person.
No, I don't think it is. Again, the name being Troll in the last name.
Yeah.
Like,
it just kind of sucks that we listen to Spotify a lot, but I'm sure that this is happening on other platforms as well, that those platforms aren't doing anything to also try to combat this.
oh yeah, I bet none of the platforms are.
I mean, they're making money if they're selling ads on the music.
Right. Yep.
So, I mean, we pay for it, so we don't listen to ads, but they're still making money off of us because we're paying for it.
Yep.
But
which is just another reason to try to get again. I don't know about the other platforms doing it. Spotify for sure, they're the largest, market share within the streaming music space.
Yeah.
So clearly, they're not trying to combat AI music. It's not something I want to support. So therefore, it's one of the reasons I want to leave Spotify.
Yeah.
So that is a goal of mine this year, is to get rid of Spotify and find either a different streaming platform or find some other alternatives. But this is just another example, like you're saying, like they're not really working. It seems like they're not really putting any effort into getting rid of AI. They're encouraging it more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
So
anyways, we can get off this topic and now move on to another one. Sorry.
No, all good.
This could be a 2-hour long episode. If
maybe
we'll
see how it goes.
All these topics.
The next one.
Oh, I saw this.
Nita Strauss and Josh Villalta. Did I got that right?
I think so, yeah.
I'm sorry if I fucked up your name.
He's the drummer for her.
Yes, he is the drummer that he plays. They're also married, and they're now expecting their first child.
Yes. You do not have to be married to have a child.
You do not have to be married to have... No.
I hate when people are like, they're married, and now they're having a kid.
I was just saying that they...
I know.
Like, these are the facts that we learned in the order we learned them.
That they were married at the show that she played here in Chicago because she said this is our 1-year anniversary.
Yes, exactly. So. Which again, I thought that was kind of cool. That's the only reason I threw this in here, is because it's like, holy shit, a year ago we saw her and her husband played drums for her. I didn't know that. And now they're expecting a child.
Yeah, so this article does say Nita Strauss and her husband are expecting a child. I have seen this like 6 or 7 times, and we talked about this the other day as well, that like I was just tired of seeing certain articles. But I've seen this one 6 or 7 times, and it's just Nita Strauss is having a baby.
Yeah.
And it's like, her name is bigger, but there are 2 people there.
Yes.
Like,
if it was reversed as well, if he was the main person, it would say that as well, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's true.
James Hetfield's expecting a child.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true. It'd be like, Josh's wife is is pregnant or whatever.
And I typically wouldn't. I don't know. We've never done this. I probably wouldn't have brought his name up other than like, hey, he's in the fucking band too. Like he's a performer. If it was like, hey, here's James Hetfield and his girlfriend or wife or
Yeah.
whoever in the background that, you know, you never see. She kind of wants to be out of the picture, possibly, like whatever, like cool.
Yeah.
James is having a child type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We might not bring up personal life shit for
No.
any bands because I really could care less who they're marrying or if they're having children or anything like that.
I also agree. I just, again, it was cool that it happened a year ago. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
I saw these people play, and
I see.
That's
why you brought it up.
that's
Okay.
why I brought it up.
Okay.
The next one, I think this is the last news article I have. And I'm going to get these names wrong. Sorry. Another thing I like about this, hopefully, is that it's forcing us to learn people's names when we
That's
say
true.
this.
Yeah.
We're really bad with people
Yeah.
who are in bands.
Or like the vocalist, the drummer,
Yeah.
the
And it's
person
like-
that was on the left.
And we've always been saying, like, we need to get better at this.
Yeah.
This will help us, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Dude, it'd be fun. Adding a segment of like learn the band,
Yeah,
and then
that
we'd
could
have
be.
to do research, but that would take more work.
It would take a little bit
But
more work.
We
Yeah.
could like
It could be a 666 topic all of
it
itself.
could, yeah.
So I don't
Or
know.
we just pick a band and then we're like, who are the people?
Here's the history of the band. Here are the members.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Whatever Wikipedia says is what we'll say.
But again, I'm going to get these names wrong. Going back to the article real quick. Lucas Magyar? Lucas Magyar, I think, is leaving Velamaya to focus on a new band, Symphony.
Siffin.
Siffin?
I would say Siffin.
Okay, I like that. Sifyn.
I wonder if that stands for something.
I don't know. They're from Chicago, I think, right? Or
Illinois.
originally founded outside of Chicago or something.
I think
Whatever.
Illinois, I think, because we did see them a few years ago, and they were like, "This is our homecoming" or whatever. Yeah, but I don't know if it's actually Chicago.
Peoria, maybe. I don't know. They're from Illinois for sure. Yeah, I remember that. But that's one of the reasons I brought them up. We saw them a few times. They're kind of good. I like them. They're like technical, like speed, technical metal, technical death or something. They're really fast. They play really, really fucking fast. I remember that.
Yeah, this is progressive metalcore, which I would definitely
Progressive
say.
metalcore, okay.
I mean, they're definitely metalcore, and I would add the progressive in there because it is very technical and very quick.
Yes. Okay, now
Yeah.
I would follow that for sure.
Yeah.
But last year also the guitarist Mark Okaboa, right?
Sure.
Would you say that? I
Well,
don't know.
not Boa.
Okibu. Okubo. Bo is B-O.
Okubo?
Okubo. Again, sorry we fucked up your
That's
last
probably
name.
not right. That doesn't sound right.
But he left last year to join Falling in Reverse to play with them.
Oh,
and now the
interesting.
vocalist is gone as well with Lucas. And I don't know who knows what's going to happen with Velamaya. But it is kind of cool that, hey, maybe a new band with Symphony? Siffin. That's how you would say that.
That's how I would say it. I don't know. I'm sure. I wonder if it stands for something.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to bring that up too. Kind of cool. Or not cool, or cool. I don't know. Just a thing that happened, I guess. Again, we're still new to this and learning how
Yeah.
this all works. But yeah, those are the headlines, our tabs, or whatever the fuck this section is going to be called, or segment. Moving on to our main topic of the show, our concert reports, which again was about the Candlelight Metallica show we
Yes.
saw.
Yeah. As we're going through this week we have one show to talk about. Sometimes we might have two. Sometimes we might have three. I don't know. Sometimes we might just talk about one that we saw a couple weeks ago. We don't know. Sometimes it'll be a clip in, like we'll do the recording we just did, and then us in different shirts and different outfits. I don't think different hair though. I think I have the same hair color.
Well, it depends on how long we sit and let it wait.
That's true. But it might just be a little choppy.
Because we did record one already for Meatloaf, a Meatloaf cover band that we went to go see, and at the end of 2025. And so that's recorded and done. We'll slip that in at a point when we need a filler episode more than likely,
I
or
think
just
so.
something to throw in, as well as we will also do just whole episodes where we don't do any of these segments.
Yeah, especially if it's something that we haven't, a band that we've never seen, or a big tour, or like when we do the Headbangers Boat, that would be just
By
talking
itself,
I mean,
right.
we talked about that long enough. So yeah, those will be just, the full episode will just be about that topic.
And there's times where we get super busy and we're traveling and we just don't have time to record. So we'll throw one of those, we call them filler episodes, just
Yeah.
like a episode of a topic that we've been wanting to talk about for a while, a movie review episode, a book episode, a book club or movie night episode, or whatever we decide to do. So again, this is going to be very fluid. Not every episode is going to follow this new format, as long as we keep this new format going. Who knows how long we do it, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, good call out there. But Candlelight Metallica, This is our third time seeing a Candlelight production.
Oh yeah, it is.
The second one we saw was that rock orchestra, which I think technically is a Candlelight
I think it's
performance.
presented by Candlelight. Yeah.
But it wasn't quite the same as the first one we saw, which
Yeah, and it's
was
more-
Hans Zimmerman. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then obviously this one with Metallica.
Yeah. Yeah, the rock orchestra is more of a touring Candlelight Presents type thing, where this is, they do kind of one-off shows and the whole theater is covered in candles and stuff like that. So,
and we saw that first one in 2024, I believe. Or was it?
end of 2023, I think.
What, into 2023? It's the beginning of 2024, and I just looked up, and the main reason I wanted to look that up is I wanted to confirm, but that one with the Hans Zimmerman, or Hans Zimmer, I always call him Zimmerman, the people playing are part of the Metropolitan String Quartet here in Chicago. And the ones playing the Metallica were also the Metropolitan String Quartet. And we were talking about this when we came home is, are they the same people or not? We kind of remember two of them being there the first time for the Hans Zimmer.
The guy from Taiwan and the guy from Brazil.
Brazil, right.
But the girl definitely wasn't.
Yes,
It was an older woman.
Yep.
And I can't remember the guy, though.
I can't remember if he was there also.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metropolitan String Quartet again put this on, and it does feel like they're in Chicago. They did introduce themselves. They said they're in Chicago. They do different things around Chicago. The woman in this one, she is in like 8 different bands.
Yeah.
She does what was it? It was Cold War jazz, but Russian jazz, I think they called it. Soviet jazz.
Soviet jazz, yeah.
And then she's got like a J-pop band, and she's got a bunch of other different stuff that sounds really cool. She plays at the Green Mill on Wednesdays, so we'll have to go up there sometime and check that out. But getting back to this, or I guess we are back to this with them. Real quick though, going over the normal stuff that we go through. Ticket prices for this were $40.60, and we sat in the balcony. So they were not the cheapest, but they were mid-tier pricing.
Yeah, because I think Section A is most expensive, then B, and then C.
Then B, then probably balcony, then C.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And so how Candlelight, well, the ones that we've went to anyways, maybe not the rock orchestra. I think that one we actually had seats.
Yeah, we had reserved seats.
Yeah. So, but the other two that we went to, they kind of just rent out venues, or use venues, I guess. I'm sure they rent them or give some of the ticket money or something happens. I don't know. But, and then they have seats that are set up, or, I guess both of them are just set up seats that we've been to. Cause one was in a mansion that's used
Sleigh
for like,
Castle.
is that what it was?
Sleigh Mansion, Sleigh Castle.
Mansion, I think.
Yeah.
But it was like a used for like wedding venues and stuff like that. And then this one was at Talia Hall. I don't know if you said that or not.
Nope, I haven't said that. Yeah, Talia Hall.
So both of them though was just like chairs on the floor, and then both of them we kind of chose alternative seating. This time we chose the balcony.
Yep.
For it, and mainly I did that because I was like, oh, it's just gonna be chairs on the floor, and I don't want to be all the way in the back and like not be able to see over the person in front of me or something. Thinking about it, we could have done the last row and then just stood back by the bar or something.
Possibly,
like that,
yeah.
Instead of sitting, but whatever. That was just a little comment that I just thought of. And then the other location that we went to was we sat like kind of not in a balcony, but they had like kind of a raised up area.
Yeah, on the wings. We did a whole episode on this.
Yeah.
It was stage left, stage right. On the far ends, they had like what they called boxes, but they were just little sections between the pillars holding up the the top section and whatnot, the top floor or the next floor up. And we just sat there and like you picked a box and that's where you got to sit.
Yeah.
We've talked about Talia Hall before. We've been there and been there before. And we were in the balcony when we saw Knate. That's where that show was at. We were in the balcony for that. Paleface Swiss, we were on the floor for that. We didn't go up to the balcony. I think we could have if we wanted to for that. Maybe not, but we didn't.
I don't know.
And yeah, the balcony was a good spot for this. They have the old school sort of stadium seating, so to speak, where they have like 3 or 4 rows of like not bench seats, but seats that you like fold down, like
like
old
theater seats.
Yeah. And then benches on the wings of stage right and stage left as well. We got center stage right next to the sound booth that we hung out in up there in the balcony. So it was kind of cool. I didn't say this though. It was also $2.28 in fees.
Okay.
5%.
Sorry.
I like to keep track of that.
I
like
didn't mean to interrupt you before you said your fee.
No, it's all good. $45.80, 60 cents in total ticket price, and then $2.28 in fees. The other thing about this, when you buy your tickets, they did have the set list announced or shown on the website, which was a little disappointing.
I didn't see that at all.
You didn't.
But I think that they did that with the other Candlelight that we saw as well.
All three of them, they've done that. Yeah.
Oh, they did for Rock
Even
Orchestra.
Rock Orchestra, they showed you like everything you're going to play.
Yeah.
The one difference here is it was 100% the same. The one difference being they didn't play Whiskey in the Jar for ours.
From what was listed online.
Yeah.
Did you write down what they were playing?
I did not. I was going to look it up, but we were going through the Uber home and we were taking notes, right?
I have it in my notes.
Yeah. What did they end up playing?
So they played 1, Enter Sandman, Fade to Black, Unforgiven, Sad But True, Seek and Destroy, For Who the Bell Tolls, Nothing Else Matters, and they ended with Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was really hard because I didn't write out all the words. So
No,
I
you
was
just said like fade bells.
like Seek Bells, Master. So I'm like, what's the whole song name?
Which is just what they do on their set list too when we look at it.
It is, but in my brain, it's hard to like say the whole name when I just have
the one word.
One word, yeah.
Pretty short set list.
It was because so I think it was, so if I remember right, it was one song, kind of an introduction or like a speaking point, and then he announced 2 songs, and then it was a speaking point, or then they played those songs, then it was a speaking point where they announced 2 more songs, and then it was some more speaking and announced 2 more songs, and they were like, well, we've come to the end of our night, and I'm like, it's been 35 minutes. Like, this is so short.
Yeah.
And then they played Nothing Else Matters and Master of Puppets.
Right.
And Master of Puppets was like their encore. Where they ended with Nothing Else Matters, and then they're like, well, it sounds like you want one more. And it's like, of course, like they're going to play Master of Puppets.
Yeah. And that last song as well, which again was Nothing Else Matters, technically was the last song before the encore. They do announce like that's when you can take your phones out and record video and
tag them
and make
in
sure you tag them.
media. So we will tag them in this episode and in our social media posts.
Well, maybe not this episode. I don't know how to tag on YouTube and
hashtag
the podcast and all that shit.
Just hashtag Candlelight Productions.
We'll see. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe on Instagram we will. Yes, for
definitely.
sure. On like the concert photos and videos we post and whatnot, we will for sure. Any case, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So that Nothing Else Matters, that's when you can break your phone out and finally take some videos and photos and all that. But because it was an encore, everybody did the same for Master of Puppets as well.
Well, they didn't really say like...
They didn't say you can't do it.
Put them back away, so...
Yeah. I think I said the same thing when we did the Hans Zimmer one, where they have the announcement at the beginning where it's like, the mission statement of what Candlelight is. And it's, bringing culture and music at a affordable price to people. And we looked at going to the symphony a few years back. They were doing like all of Beethoven's pieces.
Right.
And we wanted to go to the Chicago Symphony. And I can't remember what the prices were.
200?
Was it 200?
Was it 200 per ticket or 200 for both of us?
I can't remember. It seemed very expensive. And we haven't looked in a while. So I kind of want to check it out and see what the prices are. But at the time, the symphonies felt very expensive to go to. Now, they do concerts in the park. There are other ways to experience true classical music at a more affordable price or even for free. Like they do free concerts and shit. But when we looked into it, it seemed very expensive.
Yeah.
Which was a little disappointing because I would love to go to the symphony more often. Honestly, I really would. So, $45 isn't really that bad.
No.
But also $45 for an hour is kind of...
It's kind of expensive.
I think it's a little pricey.
Yeah.
What we paid for and what we got for $45, I'm like, that's not that good.
I mean, I don't know if it... what was the other concert that we went to? How much did that cost?
2024... No, 2023. No, yeah, you're right.
That was $33.
Yeah, see that one? Yeah.
Yeah, so is it because of the name Metallica that they could charge more? Or is it the venue?
Maybe the venue, maybe the name. I mean, it was pretty much sold out as well.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't enough seats in the balcony for people who bought balcony.
Which is kind of not funny, but people are walking around trying to find 2 seats next to each other and they can't.
Yeah.
Eventually, a couple one guy sat next to me in an open seat, and the woman sat in a seat in front of her once the couple moved their fucking shirts and coats and shit out of the seat.
Yeah.
So.
But then 2 other couples did walk in when the show started, and they like talked to the little person and then walked downstairs. So I don't know if there was more seats downstairs.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'd be kind of pissed if I paid for balcony seats and I
And there's like, oh no, we're out of seats.
We're out of seats, yeah. And I'm like, how could they oversell the seats?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, with bench seating though, it is kind of hard because I mean, we're sitting on a bench right now and we have a space between us. So if everybody's sitting like that, that could take up one body if you think about that.
There were some people I did see that were larger than us even that were.
I take up more than one person's seat. So,
but they were in the back little corner section, which is where I really wanted to be, and I asked if we could be up there.
You did.
And she's like, "No, we got to fill up these first because we were there early." Like, yeah, whatever.
Then we should have just got up and been like, "Can we sit here now?" Or just walked over to the other side and just sat there.
Yeah. But yeah, Talia Hall. I love Talia Hall. It seemed like it was going to be a great venue for this, and it really was. The venue was really, really cool.
Yeah, I did enjoy how. Okay, except for Master. Master was the only song that people like kind of sang and said the Master, parts of it. But everybody just kind of was quiet and listened to the music for the most part. There was some chatter.
Yeah. People were quiet. Like it was really good. Like the crowd chatter that we hate was very minimal. Yeah. There was a little bit every now and then, especially in between songs, I would hear it. But for the most part, it was very minimal. There were a few parts where the Metallica fans, the metal fans, did try to get people involved. Yeah. I think it was, I can't remember what song it was, but there's a guy clapping just all by himself for like a minute and a half. And he's the only person clapping. And eventually he gives up. And I'm like, that's kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. Yeah. And I don't know. So I think we talked about this was it with when we talked about S&M? I can't remember when we had this conversation. It doesn't really matter because we've done this for like 3 years now, 3.5 years.
Yeah,
but it seems like when classical music comes into it, no matter, maybe it was the rock orchestra too, I can't remember. But when classical music comes into it, there's like people act one way where even though it's Metallica music being played, it's like we're not up there screaming. Like I really wanted to play like Creeping Death so everybody could be like, die.
Yeah,
die.
Was it the Apocalypta thing where people were a little more tame and you wanted people like to be singing and whatnot?
Yeah, maybe. And like, not that I want people to, it's just I noticed that it was more calm and I'm like, oh, is it the classical music aspect of it where you're just like kind of calm and not, not in the metal realm of things.
The in between songs where they'd chat with the crowd, like each member of the all four of the quartet, each member of the quartet, I was trying to think of what to call them, like a band, but yeah, just call them a quartet, which is what they are. Each member of the quartet had a speaking spot and an introduction to like 2 songs and whatnot. Yeah. And when they were talking with the crowd, it did feel like they were encouraging the crowd to be very more participating and whatnot, participative or whatever the word is. But they were sort of like, I felt like they were encouraging the crowd, like, go ahead, you can be loud, you can sing if you want, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
They said that?
They didn't say that, but that's the vibe I got from them.
I didn't. Okay. I didn't get that from them.
No, that was kind of the vibe I got from them. Like, go ahead. Let's hear you sing and whatnot. To some extent, not a whole lot.
I don't remember them saying that though.
Again, they didn't say that. It was it's the vibe I got from their chats with the crowd. Okay. Of like, who's out here to see metal? And like they would throw the horns up and whatnot. I was like, yeah, let's hear those horns. Let's hear the cheers or something like that.
The horns?
Hear the horns, yeah. But I was also kind of thinking the same thing, that I wish there was more crowd interaction and whatnot. And I've been thinking about this a lot since, especially listening to the S&M shows and whatnot, and I thought about this last night before they ended, like, fuck, we didn't get Ecstasy of Gold.
Oh, like, yeah. They should have started with that.
They could have easily started with that instead of 1 and then gone into the like, hey, we're here to celebrate Metallica. Yeah.
And then played 1 and went on with the set list.
Or better yet, be like, you know what, Metallica, go through Metallica, like it's heavy, it's deep, it's emotional, it's a great, like when you go to see them live, there's so much energy and the crowd is always very a part of that energy and always singing and having a good time. Like it says, go to a Metallica show, they're fucking awesome. So let's try to do a little bit of that here. By all means, if you want to chant, if you want to cheer, go ahead and do so. And we're going to play a song right now that, requires a little bit of audience participation. And it's fine. You just need to know 1 word. And if you don't know what word to sing or when to sing it, don't worry. Look around you. As we've established, there's metalheads all over the place. Just follow and copy what they're doing. And then they go into Creeping Death. Like, that would be a great way to go into Creeping Death, as well as then, all right, get that chant of die, die, and kind of meld these now 2 worlds of Metallica and the classical together. Because when I went to the bathroom and we were leaving, and I come out and you're like talking to these two people, and like I don't know how the fuck you always end up talking to people. I don't, but you're
I
like,
didn't start the conversation.
but they were unfamiliar with Metallica.
Yeah, so I was just standing there kind of waiting around. I think it was maybe me and him left, but it was an older guy, much older, much older, probably 80s.
No, 70s, 60s.
No.
All right, I don't know.
I
I'm bad
would
with
say
age.
80s.
I'm bad with age.
Kind of, he just asked me, he was like, what years was Metallica popular? And I was like, well, they started in 1981 and they've kind of been popular ever since. And I was like, they just did a 2-year world tour and now they're over in Europe, are going to do Europe again this year, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, and then he asked, he was like, well, would it be considered heavy metal? And I was like, yeah, it's heavy metal. And then I was like, Metallica, kind of educating him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, Metallica is one of the big four. So they're thrash metal. And I was like, it's Testament, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Metallica. They kind of started the...
Slayer too. Big Four, Slayer, Testament's
Testament's not in there. Oh,
they're one of like
shit.
the big 8, they would say, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you forgot.
Well, I fucked that up. This poor guy is now somewhere saying that Testament is part of the big four. Anyways, I fucked that up. But anyways, so, and I was like explaining thrash metal. I was like, there's lots of genres in metal, and thrash metal just has the heavy guitar riffs and that sort of thing. I was like, that's why during their performance, they said, we're going to have guitar riffs or guitar parts with
Guitar solos with the violins.
Guitar solos with the 2 violinists and that sort of thing. So anyways, and then I think his sister came out of the restroom and was like, oh yeah, my son is a big Metallica fan, and was like, he was supposed to come, but he's not feeling well, so I brought my brother. And I'm like, well, it's kind of cool, like, you know, somebody who has no clue what band they're listening or, you know, what music it is now listening to this music. And
that's interesting because I didn't even think about that. We've done that a few times. We're just going to check out a show like, it's a live show. Not quite sure who this is. Or Nick Cave has Red Right Hand. I love that song.
Yeah.
Or Metallica covered Lover Man. I love those 2 songs. That's all I know.
Yeah, it almost seems like maybe the lady or the sister bought the tickets for her son.
Yes.
To go for like maybe Christmas or, you know, like the holidays or something. And unfortunately he wasn't feeling well. So then she brought her brother or whatever.
Yep.
But it was just interesting to like, one, see people who don't know who the band is and ask about it and not, you know, not just be like, well, and one of the questions that he asked was, are there lyrics to the songs?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, like there's, you know, like they write all the lyrics and, you know, like they go along with the songs and that sort of thing. So when you don't know the music you're listening to, and maybe he's a fan of classical music, and a lot of classical music has no lyrics.
A lot does, yep.
Obviously, Apocalyptica has a couple songs that have like lyrics to it. There's some other ones that have
even
lyrics.
Traditional classical will have some lyrics every now and then. Like Beethoven's Ninth is a
Oh,
big
does
one
that have
with.
it? I don't know any Beethoven, so
You know this bit if you heard the song, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing. Like even other classical music has lyrics and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was really kind of a good conversation about, you know, somebody who had no clue who the band was and about the music and like the night and like metal music and stuff like that. And I even made the joke. I was like, well, now you're a metalhead because you heard Metallica.
Yep.
And he kind of laughed and like was joking about it too. So
well, hopefully he checks them out. Hopefully he does check them out.
Yeah. It'd be funny if he checked them out and he's like, no,
not my thing.
This is not my thing.
What was your overall thought of the evening, I guess? Did you just your overall thought?
No, I liked it. It was a good evening. I really like the Candlelight things. It's a live show that's a different type of live show.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do think it was very short.
Very short. Yeah, I did not like that.
I didn't know how much we paid for it, but it was too short in my opinion because we went to the 8:45 show and I think we were done by 9.
Yeah.
Oh, not 9, sorry, 10.
Yeah, it was over before 10. It was 8:45 it started, and I remember when they started playing Master, looking down, it was like 8:40. I was like, all right, so we're going to get done at like 8:50-ish.
Yeah.
Cool. It's just over an hour for this performance.
Yeah. Where, I mean, they had Whiskey on the Jar that they could have played. They could have done a few more songs like you were mentioning. We both mentioned Creeping Death to play.
Ecstasy of Gold, even though it's not their song.
Yeah, but they could have started that before, like when people are still sitting down, even like just to like let it go.
I mean, even before they walked on stage, right before they walk on
Yeah.
stage, play that and let them come out. Like, even over the PA system.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like the whole song. It's like just start it.
It's not
Just the. Dun.
I say you have to play the whole song.
Oh, okay.
But also, I think that would then get the crowd involved. Of like, because when they do that, they do sing along during the live show.
Yeah.
So like that was another way to get the crowd involved if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Which I really feel like this show would be much better if they leaned more into that crowd interaction aspect. Than they did. I agree with you. Way too short for me. I did really enjoy it as a whole. Nothing Else Matters. You know, I've heard a quartet version of Nothing Else Matters so many times by this point. It's nothing special. All the other songs, other than The Unforgiven, I think The Blacklist has a very similar song to what they played. And all the other songs were sort of newish to me in terms of a quartet or string quartet, an arrangement of it, which was really cool to see, really cool to hear. There were parts where I was like, this doesn't work that well. One of the guitar solos, I don't know, or violin solos at what point, I don't know what song it was, but there's one point it's like, this just... it seems too low. It's not very amplified as much. I want it to be louder than it is.
That's a good point, because there was a couple times in the night that I was like, one, either I got lost at where they were in the song because it just wasn't jiving, and I don't know if it was they were trying to do too much with the violins or like, you know, something just wasn't jiving.
I felt that way too, though.
Or there was some really, really low parts where I'm like, I don't feel like it should be this low.
Yeah.
And maybe it was trying to get more emotion for the songs or something, you know, how like...
Or there's only so much you can do with the violin that's not, you know, amped up.
Yeah.
Like thinking of Mia from Mia and Allie, or no, it's Allie. No, Allie Piper. Mia is the right one. Yeah. She has an electric violin. So obviously with the electric aspect, you can get a lot more oomph behind it.
Yeah.
So.
I did notice the front violinist to us from, Jeff from Taiwan.
The guy from Taiwan.
Is his name Jeff?
I can't remember.
For some reason that's in my head. But anyways, he was, I noticed that his violin part, I think the girl did the guitar solo parts more. And then his violin parts, I really noticed were like the lyrics.
Okay, he did like the harmony.
The harmony parts.
Or the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar,
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's like where the lyrics come into the song. And that's where I think sometimes it got missed, because there was points where he was just like, and I don't know guitar or violinist things, but he was just like, and I was like, I don't know where this comes into the
some
song.
Some of it worked really well when they were like plucking the strings, even like that fit really well into some of the songs. But it's similar to you, like where it fits in and whatnot. I also felt like some of the songs sometimes were shorter.
Oh,
like,
really?
I was like, I couldn't remember. I was again, I can hear it in my head in guitar, but hearing it now on violin and cello and viola, I'm like, where is this? Like, it feels like this should go on longer, especially with no lyrics as I'm saying it in my head.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm not a lyric guy, so I'm really bad at the lyrics. So even for Metallica, I really fucking suck with the lyrics. But like, I was getting lost as well at times. Which, again, I really, really enjoyed the evening. Too short, like I said. Even though I enjoyed the evening, it could have been better. But I also like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it was good. But we've been to other performances similar to this that do Metallica, Mia and Allie, for instance, Revive, and Apocalyptica, or the three that come to mind for me. And all three of those, to me, have a better energy to them, especially Revive.
Revive, yeah.
And they play it for Street Fest a lot of times. And they're here in Chicago, these two fucking children out there playing two cellos, two brothers, and a drum kit behind them. And that's the other thing. I feel like you needed a drum kit.
They need a drum, yeah.
Something there. You don't necessarily need it, but for those heavier songs, I feel like you do. Nothing Else Matter? Sure, you don't need a drum kit for that.
Yeah.
But like one, maybe not. But
one
maybe.
I think was fine. But yeah, like if you're doing like Seek or even Sabbath True sometimes, like I don't know. Like I don't know.
Well, that's the drum.
But they tried. I mean, they really tried. And like you said, they had a quartet and trying to get all the sounds. I think that they did pretty well. I mean, I liked it.
No, I'm
really
not. Yeah.
I
think it was overpriced, too short. I would have much rather seen Revive. I guess what I'm getting at is.
Oh, that would have been so cool if they had an opener. And the opener was Revive.
Those other shows we've seen, there's just better energy. And we did an episode on Mia and Allie, and we said the same thing where they took away the floor and everybody was just like in the table.
Yeah.
Where if you took that away and made it more like a GA floor, that vibe would have been better. I think that was one criticism we had about that show.
Yeah, I would agree there.
But yeah, the vibe was just not quite there. It was cool to see it in this candlelight, but the vibe just wasn't quite hitting for me.
Yeah.
Still a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But the vibe
I want to
was
do
off.
a lot. I want to do more candle, like maybe once a year do candlelight, not do a lot of them.
And they've got a lot of other stuff. I would like to do a classical one. They're doing Beethoven and Mozart, like Beethoven versus Mozart.
Oh, cool.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. They've done Vivaldi. I think the Jeff guy you were saying, I don't know if that's his name or not.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
He's doing like Vivaldi's Winter. I think that's what it is. But he's doing a Vivaldi piece with a whiskey tasting pairing thing. Which is kind of cool, pairing whiskey to classical.
Well, so I was trying, and maybe we should have went down and talked to him afterwards, but because they did like say like, oh, we're gonna be off to the side, like if you want to come talk to us, but that's not what we do. But he was saying that he is he's trying to lead the like mixing art with food, with whiskey, with music, with like all this stuff together, and I'm like, ooh. Like, is this at an art museum? Is this, like, I really want to, that would be so cool to, like, have an art installation with music and, like,
art, yes. Food,
oh, you want to eat it.
I'm like, what the, no. I don't understand it in my head just yet. Like, whiskey tasting with food makes sense. Whiskey tasting with music, see how this piece really brings out the aroma in the whiskey. Like, no, that's not how the fuck that works. Like, I don't get that aspect. Food and music pairing together, to me, that just feels like you're at a fancy dinner with a live band over there, like playing away in the violin or some shit, right? Or here comes the mariachi band at your Mexican restaurant.
You have Metallica, so let's have some, I don't know, what's that, like, shows, like hot dogs and nachos.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like
it just sounded interesting.
No, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to check it out to see, but I'm just like, no, this does not.
Yeah.
Whatever. I need to think about that more. But yeah, anything else around this main topic you want to bring up? Nope. All right. That's where we typically end, but we have 2 more segments, 3 more actually, that we wanted to run through real quick to wrap up the episode. And again, this is how the new format is that we're going to play with. We'll mix things around, maybe not, I don't know. But the next one we have is new music that was released. We wanted to touch on some of this real quick. So diving into that, Demon Scar has a new song, or no, not a new song, a new album out, Scarred for Life.
Oh, is it an album? Okay.
It's on Bandcamp. I didn't see it on Spotify, which kind of cool. But it's on Bandcamp, so we can go listen to it on there, or you can buy it as well. I might try to pick one up.
Did that come out this year, though, or was it 2020?
It did. It came out, I think, January 2nd.
Or 25. Okay.
They had a single come out in 2025.
Okay.
That's on Spotify. But this album, according to Bandcamp, came out like January 2nd or some shit. The next one, Kal-El, I don't know who they are, but they have a new single out called Juno, and this is off their upcoming album, Astral Voyage Volume 2, which comes out on March 26th. I might check this one out. I don't know 100% what it's about, but it sounded kind of cool. I think it's like very progressive or kind of spacey in your head, like very instrumental and whatnot.
Did you listen to this music, or you just?
I haven't listened to any of this yet. Just new music that came out. Definitely want to check these out. So maybe next week when we say what are we listening to, it will be Demon Scar or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I do want to check these out. But this is new music. The next 2, I think you added.
I did, and I did check them out because I thought that that's what this was. Is like new music released, and like what is it like? Sort of thing.
Gotcha.
So
maybe I need to do that going forward.
I have notes.
I saw you had notes. Yeah. Why don't you say what your music is?
So the first one is a band called Ascend the Helix. They were just, when I went to Spotify, just like generally there's like a new music or like you may like this sort of thing. They were a band that just came up on that.
Okay.
So I didn't know who this was, but they are a progressive groove metal band. I don't know how many albums they have. I didn't look up all that stuff, so I didn't look up a whole bunch. But the song is called Sunseeker. It came out January 2nd. It seems like that they're having a new album, so they have like 3 songs that are out so far on that album, but I don't know what the album name is yet, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But the song, so with the progressive groove metal, I didn't even know what that was, so I had to look it up, and it's basically just slower thrash metal, which is interesting with the progressive part of it, because then it's quicker, slower thrash metal.
Yeah. Groove metal for me, definitely groove and like stoner metal sort of meld together for me.
Okay.
And then progressive obviously being like the
Yeah.
progressive elements.
So the song,
Progressive being the progressive elements.
the song has, I wrote notes of, there are some great guitar riffs, or there's one part in there, and I should like figure out like what timestamp or whatever it is, but there's a part in there that guitar riff really reminds me of like a Disturbed song.
Okay.
And then it quickly goes into harsh vocals. So it's definitely not like what Disturbed does, because that's not how their music would be, but that's what it reminded me of. But definitely the whole song as a whole has a very good mix of the quick groove thrash metal parts.
Okay.
So what I was saying, like the progressive groove metal.
Yeah.
So,
This sounds awesome. I'll have to check this out.
I liked it. At first, when I listened to it twice, the first time I listened to it, I was like, I'm not sure about this.
Not
like,
your thing.
But I was like, Brian would probably really, really like this. But then the second time I listened to it, I was like, this is actually pretty good. Like, because there's some clean vocal parts and then some harsh vocals.
Oh, I love that shit.
But the harsh vocals aren't like pig squeal harsh vocals. It's just harsh, or, death metal vocals. Kind of.
Okay. That's how I kind of see Opeth when they do shit like that. Their last album was very similar to that, some of their stuff.
I don't really listen to Opeth, but I should.
No, but we're going to see them later this year. And so I think you might like them. I hope you do. I love them. So you have one more too, I think, right?
Yeah. So this is Paleface Swiss.
We've seen them.
We have. It's the Wilted EP. It came out January 2nd as well.
Okay.
So this is a 4-song EP with an intro. So the intro is like, the way I take it is just somebody listening to a voicemail and then they take their own life. Okay. So then I don't know much about this album or this EP, but I feel like it's a concept.
Okay.
EP, or, I'm going to say album because whatever.
EP album. Yeah.
It's 4 songs, but I just feel like it is a concept like through the whole thing. I want to really go back and like listen to the lyrics and listen to, all of it to really get the vibe of it. I think it's the second or third song on the EP is Instrument of War. And that's done with Stick to Your Guns, who we also saw with
them.
Paleface.
Oh, I saw they had I saw that a while ago that they had a song come out or something.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
which must have been from this EP.
Yeah. So I don't know if all of this came out, like if they released it over time, but on January 2nd was the official release of the EP.
Yeah. Not normally, but sometimes like you'll release singles, at least for albums. I don't know about EPs. I know Trivium did last year with their EP as well. Yeah. But I remember hearing or seeing an article or announcement of that song being released.
Most of the songs are just what Paleface sounds like. So it's the quick deathcore, progressive sounding with the fast tempos and the drop downs. And if you know Paleface vocals, he has like a different vocal sound and stuff like that. So, but then the very last song is called Everything Is Fine. And it's just so melodic and like soothing and stuff like that. Now, I didn't listen directly to the lyrics, so when I'm saying soothing, it might not be a soothing song,
but it came off that way.
That's how it came off, where I could just see if we were at a concert, like there's some songs that I just like to like close my eyes and just let the music go in. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But just take it all in, which is sometimes hard at metal shows because if there's a pit on the side, because sometimes I like to do it on songs that aren't slow or melodic, and if there's a pit open, I can't really have my eyes closed because
nope. I mean, you could, but
you got to kind of watch out what's going on. So
you could at your own risk, I guess.
Yeah, but I really like the Paleface Swiss. If they have it like on a vinyl or something, I would definitely want to buy it because I really like it. I think it would be something cool just to like put on and like sit and
we should check that out.
Check
out their merch and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which is a segment that we have as well, the merch table. But we have one before that real quick, which is the concert calendar. Here we're just talking about new shows that were announced and sorry, were you?
No, okay. Go
ahead. Here we're talking about new shows that were announced and from the last week and whatnot. Not necessarily shows we're going to, but the new shows that were announced.
I didn't see any announcements for this week.
I saw one.
Okay.
And yes, so same. And when we're putting these together, what we're trying to do is grab news and articles and announcements from the week before we record. So this is Monday, January 5th. This is everything that basically happened between Christmas and here, or stuff that somewhere in that time frame. It's going to get more regular in terms of where we pull things from. But that's a really dead time of the year anyway.
Yeah. And for announcements, I think this has been said on a couple episodes now already that we've recorded, or the year-end recap or something. But the announcements that were made the 2 Tuesdays before Christmas were outrageous.
Just so many.
Like across genres, not just metal, but like so many bands announced.
And I think you brought up like maybe they're buying tickets for people.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking is like, oh, if you need like a stocking stuffer or something. And
I did see a reel where a girl got like a Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Tickets for Christmas, and she's bawling her eyes out, and she can't even
awesome to have that feeling again.
Yes, and she's like, I can't even speak. I can't I can't speak. She just keeps crying with happiness, which you were very close to that with Back to the Beginning tickets almost.
Well, yeah, that was more just unbelief.
Yeah,
You're right.
Same
concept.
I
did have the same concept, but it was just more that I can't believe that this is happening. Like, is this happening to us? Like, are we actually going to do this?
And also with the concert calendar, we're also going to not just show shows that we could potentially go to. It's going to be all over the world. I think. Whenever anything announced,
festivals, stuff like that. Yeah.
The way the internet works, everything's on the world scale, so might as well announce everything. Plus, it could be a foreshadowing, especially because of the bands we care about. So it could be a foreshadowing of, oh, after they're done here, they might come to the U.S. or vice versa. This band's on tour in the U.S. maybe next fall or next spring or whatever it is. They'll come to my part of the world to see a show. But anyway, I did see one, which is Stephen Bortsky. I think that's his name. I'm not quite sure. He is the Cave In and Muted Man frontman for those two bands. He is doing a acoustic hardcore cover show.
Oh, interesting.
That sounds super fucking cool.
Interesting.
I would love to see that, but it's only in the West Coast.
On the West Coast. Oh.
And only for like 3 dates. Sorry. He's going to be in San Diego on February 5th, Los Angeles February 6th, and then Costa Mesa on February 7th. So only 3 shows of that. It sounds really fucking cool just based on acoustic hardcore cover. Acoustic hardcore cover.
Interesting.
I think that'd be really cool. But if you're lucky enough to go to those shows, that's in your area, that's really cool. Hopefully you can check that out.
So this article that you pulled up does say throughout the past year, Brodsky has been releasing a steady stream of acoustic covers focusing on hardcore and post-hardcore classics from the 90s. So this must be on like Spotify or on the internet somewhere.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So this is interesting.
I'll be checking out some of the music though for sure. I didn't know he released. I hadn't read the article. I just read the headline. Oh shit, there's a show and I saw the dates. Like
that was supposed to be one of the points of this. Is also adding all these segments. Is there's so many times where we read the headline, but we don't know what the article actually says because we don't take the time to read the article.
And we quickly just threw this together yesterday and
we're going to do better.
We'll do better. We're learning how to do this.
We were on holiday break.
It was Christmas break, yes.
And
winter break.
It was hard to get off of holiday break.
So yeah, that was the only concert calendar or concert announcement I saw. Next week, maybe there might be more since we're getting past. It's going to force me
to have to get on Instagram a lot more. I kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
It's okay.
Find news publications. Most of the shit I get from is Metal Injection is my new source right now.
Yeah, but then you have to be online to look for that too.
I get the newsletter every day in our email.
I don't check my email.
I know you don't. It really frustrates me when you see your phone, like that red dot with all those numbers. Like, I hate it. And Reddit. I'm on Reddit a lot, and there's shit on there. I think that's where I saw the MTV thing originally.
Okay.
Any case, that was the last Metal Injection. The last topic we have for tonight, the merch table. Support your bands. Go check out their merch, which we might have to do for Paleface Swiss with this album.
Yeah.
But the one item I saw that I wanted to talk about, Josh Scoggin, and again, sorry if I fuck up that name, from 68, wrote a child's book.
I would not know that his name was Josh Scoggin.
I would not either. But there once was a girl who lived for a day, or for one day, is his child's book out there. Apparently it's a book for all ages, as most children's books are. You can pre-order this now on Velvet Press, VELVETPRESS.
That's just velvet, not velvet.
Oh, my dyslexia kicked in there.
It did.
Velvet Press. You can pre-order that on our Velvet.
You were sounding it out. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Well, yeah, that's where you can pre-order this from. Don't know a whole lot. Again, didn't read the article.
You need to read the article if we're going to talk about articles.
Again, it wasn't intended to talk about it. It was just more of like, here's a merch item out there. You've heard a child's book out there that's for all ages. The title of the book is A Girl Who Lived for One Day.
There once was a girl who lived for one day.
Sorry, again, fucking dyslexia. There once was a girl who lived for one day is the book. And you can pre-order that now. Should be kind of fun and interesting to see. This is the one segment.
Wait, he's in Norma Jean?
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, I did not know that either. Yes, he is. Huh.
We didn't like Norma Jean.
We did not like that show.
Not that we didn't like it. It just wasn't our thing.
It wasn't vibing that night for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I was saying, this is the one segment I can see us not doing every week as well.
Yeah.
It's only if something's cool. Because, I mean, every month I get an email from Maria from In This Moment of, here's a new shirt you could buy.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's a really, really cool shirt.
Yeah. Like Wage War and like all the bands do it. Like, oh, we have new merch. And it's like, okay.
Metallica always has new shirts and shit. So it's not going to be like, here's a band, check out their shirt. It's going to be like, if there's something cool and interesting. Like last year, Clutch had a model that you could buy that sold out like instantly and whatnot. And then Rammstein released a box set singles for vinyl of like all their singles that you could buy. So it's going to be shit like that, again, all the things we care about that we see that we like, oh, this is a really cool merch item. Doesn't mean we're buying it. Just like, this is a cool thing to check out. So again, this is the segment that could see, you might not see every single week for sure. But that was the last segment I had. Who knows what else we'll bring in? There might be other segments as we play through this. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you like stuff, if you didn't like stuff, feedback really does help in terms of like letting us know, because otherwise it's just your aunt basically saying, that was nice. I liked hearing you guys talk.
I'm listening to your episode right now.
But nice aunt voice. I'm sure she's gonna like that.
That was her typing.
Yeah, but you said it like, nah, 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 nah.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Just,
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
Sorry, I did not mean that way. Sorry, Aunt Joe.
Any case, yeah, that was.
And she's your aunt too.
Yes, that's true. Any case, there's the new episode, the new format. It didn't work out that bad, I don't think. We'll keep playing with it and see what happens. Like I said, 18 different times during this episode. But
are you nervous about it?
I'm not. I felt like it went really well. At least I liked the flow of it.
Yeah, I think we did better than I thought we were going to, because I was like, oh, this is gonna be so clunky, but
it worked out pretty well. Yeah. There's some changes we definitely need to do. Eventually we'll add some sound effects, not for this one and maybe not for the next one, but sometime down the road I want to add sound effects. Maybe someday. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun to switch it up. Like, I feel like we got into a rut, especially about concerts.
Yeah.
We can't keep talking about Trivium. We did 2 Trivium shows last year, plus we've done Trivium in the past. Like, we can't talk about the same band every time.
Well, and also we got to the point of just being like, they were nice. Yes, they were fun. Yeah. I will check them out again. So it's like, okay, we need to add something else.
We needed to mix it up for us more than anything. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But in any case, I hope you enjoyed. As always, go explore music, go support your artists, and especially go out and check some live music. And who knows, maybe we'll see you at the next show.
And fuck AI.
And fuck AI, yes.
Bye.